Hello everyone, Fuzz here, and welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy VIII. And today we're going to be doing some more optional side quest content. I'm suspecting right now that this is probably going to be the final episode of doing such content, and then hopefully from the next episode we're going to be continuing on with the main story that the game has to offer for us. We're actually getting very close to the end now in terms of main story content. So a big thanks to everybody who's stuck along for the ride so far, and hopefully you'll continue to do so as we race through the rest of the game. So to begin with, today we're going to be doing a quest known as the Obel Lake quest, which I'm sure some of you are familiar with if you played the game previously. It's a little bit annoying, but I'm going to help you and show you how to get it done. So first of all, you're going to start with the Ragnarok over at Timber and just fly over here to the kind of it's not an island because it is connected, but it's kind of a three-wall island, isn't it, in the middle of this lake over here. And make sure you have encounter non-equipped for this side quest, since we're going to be doing a lot of running around the world map and you don't want to be encountering enemies every 2 seconds. If you head to the tip of this kind of, I don't know, peninsula thing and hit your talk button, then you get a little bit of dialogue, and what you want to do here is hum. And just keep humming until you start to chat to this black shadow. And the dialogue's going to finish, so you just go into open dialogue again and continue to talk to this thing, whatever it is, who asks us to find his friend known as Mr. Monkey. So that's all we need to do. We're told then that Mr. Monkey should be in a forest somewhere. Keep walking around and we'll find him. Okay, so, if we speak one more time, he'll tell us that it's somewhere towards Dolit. So, if we open up the map, Dolit is up here. We're going to fly up there now with the Ragnarok, and we're going to be looking for a forest that's very near that location. In fact, the closest forest to Dolit. So here's Dolit. And if we just, fly away from Dolit, we can see the closest forest is just over here. And we need to do a couple of things here. Again, make sure you have encounter non-equipped. And as we run around, another dialogue box is going to open. We're going to begin by throwing a rock. And we're told that we suck. And once again, this time we're going to sing, only for the same response. And once we've accessed both of those options, or seen both of those dialogue responses, we're going to head back to the lake. Here we go. And we tell this strange, shadowy figure about Mr. Monkey. But that's not the end. That's not the end. He now gives us a clue to another location that he wants us to visit. And the clue is take a break at the railroad bridge. Now there's actually several clues he can give us at this point. So we're going to follow each one and then report back. But you may get them in a different order. If so, just, skip ahead in the video in order to find that clue and where you need to go. So this is the railway bridge. We're going to head back into the Ragnaros here. Okay, slight change of plan. There's actually 2 things he tells us that we don't need to know right now. The one, incidentally, was about the railroad bridge, which we just witnessed. The other one is where he says back in the day south of here, there used to be a small but beautiful village surrounded by deep forests. Everyone lived a happy life there. If he says that, or the message that he gave us, then we need to speak to him again, because those aren't the clues we're interested in. So the clues we're interested in are this one, which is at the beach in Balam. That's what we're going to be looking at first. The other one are do you know what? Take some time off at Eld Beak Peninsula And then the next one is you'll find something on the island east of Timber. And finally, oh yeah, there's also something on top of a mountain with a lake and a cavern. Those are the 4 clues that we are interested in. So we have at the beach in Balam, something special washes ashore at times. And we're going to go ahead to Balam here, over to the region of Balam. And then look at the beach. So it's not a hard one, this. It's pretty self-explanatory. Here's the Balam region. We're just going to go ahead and land and run around on the beach, which can take a bit of time, but eventually we'll get a message popping up. Eventually you'll get a message. You found a piece of rock by your foot, but in this case it was just a rock. That means it wasn't the item we were searching for, so we need to once again keep looking. It's only the clue here on Balam Beach where you have the chance of running into the wrong item. The other locations we're going to search, that isn't possible. So fortunately we did get the most tricky or most frustrating location to search for first. Eventually you're going to get the correct rock, and we're told it looks like man-made and has some carving on it with some strange letters. Now, there is quite a bit of RNG involved in that, and you do just have to keep persevering until you find the correct rock. It took me quite a few attempts, unfortunately, but I won't bore you with the details on that, which is why I just skipped ahead until we found the correct version. We head back to our little shadowy friend here and give him an update on the good news. I mean, what's going on? I have no idea, really. There we go. Take some time off at Eld Beak Peninsula. So, Eld Beak Peninsula, which is a bit of an interesting clue, if you ask me. We're going to be heading to the topmost continent here, which is north of Balam. And we're looking for... just let me get the right island and I'll be back with you. So here is the correct location. There is a stone pillar. If you look closely, there's something written on it. And another bunch of strange letters. Just to clarify where I am, you can see on my map. I'm at the point of the island where if you just look over there, you can see Dollit. Okay, and just to show you where I am, there we are. There's a small island to the side of us, which I thought is where the clue actually was found, but it wasn't. It was just here. So with that information in hand, we are again once more heading back to the Obel Lake. You'll have to excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, so my mind's not fully engaged with things. I don't know whether it's a cold, actually. I think it's more, you know, allergies, to tell you the truth. Ah, I thought we were stuck then. Great place to park. Mysterious writing on the rock. There's also something on top of a mountain with lake and cavern. So this is another one of the clues that we need. And we're going to be heading over towards the Galbadia region for this next fulfillment of the quest. Right, so you want to come to this location, and I'll show you where exactly once we've got through this little scene here. And we can find that there's a bird warming an egg, and we can either check it out, but that'll put us into battle, or we can leave it alone a few times, and eventually they should fly away. Although it looks like you have to do it quite a few times. Let's check it out. Get through the battle. I think it does take quite a lot of perseverance to actually get these guys to fly away. So better off just slaughtering them. Because that's what you do in Final Fantasy, isn't it? Which means now we can just head back. We just get through the dialogue with some more strange letters. But now we can head back to the Obel Lake. I'll just show you where I was. Okay. I just landed on top of this pink, dusty rock area here. Next to Galbadia. And we were quite close to the actual lake itself in that location. Yeah, let's go back in the Ragnaros for no apparent reason at all. And we're told we'll find something on an island east of Timber. So for this one, we're going to do exactly what we're told and just head over to the east here. And there's this kind of thin island. And we just need to land again, of course. And we just need to run around this area until we find the 4th clue. With some more strange letters. And then Squall will again comment that he's recognising these rocks. And now we're going to head back to the lake. They're the only 4 clues that we need. So we won't need to be coming back out hunting anymore for further stuff. And this time we're going to throw a rock. And the message we want to see is the rock skipped many times. Once again, this is a lot of RNG, since there's quite a few options that we can see. There we have it. Bit of perseverance always pays off. Now we're going to head back to the monkey. Oh, isn't this fun? So if you remember, the monkey was in this forest here. And it shouldn't take too long to encounter him. And this time we're going to throw a rock. And we get some more dialogue now. With a few insults. And we're again going to throw a rock at him. Then the monkey throws a rock at us. With some carving on it. And this is another clue. And we found them all. Finally, we have to fly to this location here, just above S-Star, and you have this big open space. And what you need to do is just hit the talk button, and you'll have different coloured rocks telling you things. And basically, these bits of information that you're given from these different coloured rocks are clues as to where the treasure is. And it's a little bit annoying, because it's random, so I can't tell you exactly where it's going to be, but it is in this area. In terms of what the rock says, basically there's 4 different colour rocks, and it's important to know what each rock means when it talks. The blue rock, when that talks, basically tells you what the other rocks are saying. You can ignore it, it doesn't matter. The white rock always tells you that the treasure is north. You can ignore it. It doesn't, give you any useful information. The black rock... sorry, actually got that confused. The white rock gives you random direction, so you can ignore it. And the black rock always tells you to go north, so you can ignore it. The only rock you care about is the red-faced rock. Now, what the red-faced rock will say is the opposite of what's the truth. So if it tells you to go north, you should go south. If it tells you to go east, you should go west. And eventually, when it tells you that the treasure's not here, you know that it is there. Examine the location without moving, and you'll find the 3 stars item. Wow. that is annoying. Before we finish off the final section of this quest, I'm going to head to Shumi Village and do some drawing, because hopefully, with any luck, the draw point will, well, quite easily have, for Ultima, be back in business. At least it should be by this point, after all this running around. The draw point here in Shumi Village still remains one of the best sources of Ultima magic in Final Fantasy VIII. So long, of course, as you have been accessing it when I first told you to access it, since it's not going to be available for much longer. But we've already got over 100 Ultima in total, so we've got one character maxed out with the best magic in the game, and we're well on our way to getting another. So Self is just a little bit full there, we'll move that out of the way. We'll give the 100 Ultima here to Irvine. Remember, if you have more than 85, make sure you switch your magic to another character, because you don't want to overdraw, since 100 is the most you can hold. And you can draw up to 15 in one go. As always, make sure you save your game and give your drawing character the best possible magic stat available. 10. Not superb, but it'll do for now, I think. So we've got 79 Ultimas on Selfie. I'm just going to swap her back with Irvine here. There we go. So we should easily have 2 characters fully stocked with Ultima before that draw point does become unavailable. Just make sure the more you run around the world map, you know, like we've been doing this quest and that, you do keep remembering to go back and check that draw point, because it does restock at about the same pace that you get your seed celery, I think it is. So anyway, the next location we're going to be heading to is Mindy Island. Which is down past Esther. Probably would have been easier actually to head north and come up from the bottom of the world map, but no big deal. And here we are. I believe this is Mindy Island, or Mind Island, whatever it is that you want to call it. And somewhere around here is another reward for the Obel Lake quest. Let's check I've got my bearings correct. Yes, I have. And it is in a specific location, which I guess is a touch irritating. I think it's around here. And it's very unforgiving. There we go. And we get an achievement for that. I'm going to Luck Junction Scroll. And that actually brings us to the end of the Obel Lake side quest. But I want to do another side quest now, which is PuPu's quest. Or PuPu's quest. That's P-U-P-U. And as you've been playing through the game, especially as you've been travelling around the world map, you may very well have noticed a battle encounter with a strange UFO creature that you don't fight. He kind of comes on the screen, then flies away. Well, that's actually part of PuPu's quest. So once again, I recommend making sure that Encounter None is still equipped. And we're going to find PuPu, the UFO. Well, we're going to find the UFO in 4 locations in order to do the actual quest itself. So we don't need to be here now. The locations we're going to are the Win Hill Bluffs, the Mandy Beach, the Heath Peninsula, and the Karskabold Desert. And I think I've probably pronounced that incorrectly. But if you've already encountered PuPu in any of those locations, you're probably not going to come across him again. So first of all, the Win Hill Bluffs. Right, so I'm pretty sure I must have encountered the UFO at some point in a previous playing time because I've not been able to encounter it here. But this is the location you need to be, which is Win Hill Bluffs, and just outside the village of Win Hill if you run around with Encounter on, because the encounter does still activate even with that equipped. Then eventually, if you haven't already, you'll bump into him. So next we're going to be heading back over to the Mandy Beach. Which is this beach here. At least I believe it is. There we go, look. With Encounter non-equipped, we straight away enter battle. And here comes the UFO. Very, very strange thing indeed. We can't attack it or anything. It just whizzes across the screen, carrying a strange statue of some kind. And that's just the beach near the Long Island that we visited earlier on when we was doing the Obel Lake side quest. Right, next up we're heading to the Heath Peninsula, which is this direction. And I just want to make sure I get this location correct, so I'm not giving you false information. It's possible, I believe it's this place here. Thor Peninsula. Ooh, interesting. So it's literally just up from that place where we part the Ragnarok. Here we go, Heath Peninsula. Run around here and you should encounter PuPu. I believe I've already done so, since he's not appearing for me. So we're going to head back now to the Ragnarok, and I'm just going to take a brief detour to Shumi Village once more, since I've done quite a lot of running around trying to get that guy to appear. Then we'll be heading to the final location in the desert. I wasn't going to show you that, but look at that, 15 Ultimas. So that's the most you can get in one draw, and that puts us now on 94 for our second batch, which isn't too shabby at all. And we're going to have to split those up to another character now to get Selfie down to the 85 mark. Otherwise, you know, we're going to be overdrawing, which is not what we want to do. So, who hasn't got full stock of magic and can take some? Quistis, maybe? Nope. I'll give her all the junk. Yeah, look, we know I have some. We need to give her 9. And now Selfie we'll be able to draw the maximum again, maybe, next time. Who knows? Anyway, we're going to be heading over to the desert now for the final location of PuPu. Oh, the Ragnarok's disappeared. There it is. And we're just going to head north from Shumi Village here. If it hadn't restocked for you, by the way, don't worry about it. Just come back, you know, at alternate times. You don't have to do it when I do it. Just make sure you do keep checking on that draw point. We've pretty much got 2 characters now fully stocked with Ultima. And all we've done is use that Shumi Village draw point. So, because it can be a pain to get by other means. You can get it from some of the game super bosses. But we haven't been fighting those yet. Here's the desert. No doubt we've actually already encountered this guy here, because we have been fighting a lot of cactuars in this region. So I'm going to assume that we found him and head over to the final destination now, which you can only, well, it's only, you can go there before, but it's pointless going because the part of the side quest that we do over this next location requires that we visit these 4 previous locations first of all. So we're going to head up towards the Chocobo Sanctuary area. Which is just up in the northeastern part of the world map over here. If you remember, there's all the Marlboros and tough enemies that we can fight in this region, which we have done in the past, and it wasn't necessarily pretty, but there you go. So there's the Chocobo Sanctuary, which is that kind of easy to spot round forest there. And we're just going to park the Ragnarok down on the actual cliff, if I can line it up correctly. And then it's just a case of running around once we've parked, and eventually we'll encounter the UFO once more. This time he won't be flying across the screen, and we can actually defeat him in battle. Takes a few hits just to get him down, but nothing too challenging. And that's the UFO broken. And away it goes. I feel quite guilty now. I mean, what has that little alien ever done to hurt us? Right, for defeating that thing in battle, you get the very, very rare Aegis Amulet, which allows one Guardian Force to learn the coveted Evasion Junction ability. But that doesn't bring us to the end of the quest. Next, make sure that at least one character has the item command, and make sure you have at least 5 elixirs in your inventory. And still with the, the encounter non-equipped. You can do all of these encounters with encounter non-equipped, which is particularly useful. We're going to head back over to Balam Garden, at least, where Balam Garden used to be the region of it. And now we're going to run around the crater area. And finally, we get to encounter PuPu himself. His UFO has been broken, so we need to give him elixirs. And we need to give him 5 elixirs to be precise. And what a little cute alien. How can you say no to that face? So there's number 3. There's number 4 and there's number 5. That should do the biz. By the way, if you don't want to give him elixirs, you can kill him for a different reward, which is an accelerator. But that's not a unique reward, so I do not recommend doing so. Make sure you give him these elixirs, in all honesty. And in return for that, you get an achievement, if you haven't done it before in a previous game. And the super, super rare PuPu's card. Now, do not card mod PuPu's card, because there is no way to get it back if you do. It's the only card in the game where once you've lost it, you've lost it. But anyway, guys, that's the end of today's episode. A couple of side quests done and sorted. And then next time, when we come back to the game, we're going to be continuing on with the story. So thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to hit the like button if my episode has been helpful to you. I hope that it has. And I'll see you soon as we continue on with Final Fantasy VIII.